Hello, hello, hello. How's the weekend? All right, so yeah, we're just gonna chill a bit and just gonna let it roll in a little bit. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Ask Me Anything Sunday night show. I mean, supposed to call it a show, but I don't think this is a show. It's more like Ask Me Anything session that I do this every Sunday night to answer your questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing, or even about building your business online. So if you have any questions, my recommendation is if you have any questions at all, please post your questions on my YouTube channel. Yeah, okay, because yeah, I was okay. I made it a point because because this thing is going live on multiple places. Like we are going live on Facebook. At the same time, we are also going live on, Facebook page. I have two Facebook page, one Facebook group, as well as on my YouTube channel. So when I go live on all places, right? I mean, people might tend to actually ask questions on all platforms, which is everywhere. I mean, that's why I kind of like made it a point that I at least check. But if I miss any of the questions, I would definitely have to apologize. But here's how it works. It would be a lot better if you can actually post your questions on my YouTube channel. That works a lot better. Okay, so yeah, okay, now before we go in, let's see. Okay, now we have a question from Elisha, and Elisha, I'll come back to this a little bit real quick before we go through that. Please come back, Elisha. I will answer the questions that you post on YouTube. I mean, as in like live, last. Okay, what's up, Kevin? And what's up, Chiwai? Chiwai, why so excited? Why so excited? What do you actually like drink just now? Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do, right? Every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time, I go live to answer your questions. So today we have about 6 questions over here. And then if you have any questions at all, feel free to pop your questions, while we are doing this in the chat, in the comment. And I'll be able to pin them up like what I did just now to answer your questions real quick. I mean, since Elisha actually posted these questions earlier, okay, and I think she's the earliest. She posted these questions at 9:51 p.m., which is like 10 minutes before we go live. So let me actually give you a very special treatment. Thanks for joining me, Elisha. And sorry if I pronounce your name correctly, Elisha. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Okay. Now, the question is, if your T2 ad copy is not working, should you stop it? Now, first thing first. Okay, here's a very important question. Whenever we ask about, like, how do you know if your ad copy is not working? Yes, you see, you're asking whether, if your ad copy is not working, should you stop it? I mean, in my opinion, definitely, if your ad copy is not working, you have to stop it. But how do you know? Right? That's why it's very important for us to analyze. You see, you can't get advertised based on gut feeling. So one thing I really want to highlight to everyone: please do not advertise based on gut feeling. You have to actually learn how to read the data to prove that, okay, now the ad copy is really not working. Let's freaking kill it. Now, how do we know? Usually when it comes to copy and creative, which is like pictures or images, you look at your CTR. All right, check your CTR if they are performing. Now we have two sets of CTR generally. One set is CTR link all, okay, which is everything else. And the other one is CTR link click. So what you do is you check on both, and just to make sure that if both of them are actually really down, really not performing, as in like CTR all, our benchmark is 2%. CTR link click, our benchmark is 1%. If you're at least 50% lower than average, then definitely it's an early sign that your copywriting is not working. So when it comes to this kind of situation, you definitely should consider changing your advertisement, as in like your creative or your copywriting. But before that, do not simply take action just because you feel it's not working, especially since Elisha is here talking about T2, right? T2 essentially is our retargeting campaign. Now, when it comes to retargeting campaign, it usually targets people who have taken certain action on your ad or your page and stuff like that. These are people who are already sort of know about you. So for these kind of audiences, sometimes we actually have to consider several more metrics to decide whether the campaign is working or not. Sometimes it may take a little bit of time before the whole thing kicks in, you see. So that's why you got to be very careful about this thing, yeah? So Elisha, now, since we're at this topic, right, I want to quickly bring this up. If you have any questions that you do not know how to interpret your Facebook ads campaign and you need help. So you need somebody to look at your campaign and read the data, read the results, and to see what have you done right or wrong, and how can you actually improve your campaign performance. Scan this QR code, and you'll be able to actually buy me a coffee, and then we will be able to spend half an hour together to analyze your Facebook ads campaign, as in like we will dive into your metrics, we will dive into your results and draw out important metrics. I'll walk you through the whole thing. Everything is recorded, and you will have the copy that the recording that you can actually watch back on how I analyze. So it's a very beneficial exercise for every Facebook advertisers out there. At least I think everybody can start running ads very easily, but how do we actually start really like having a very clear understanding whether our campaign is working or not, and how can we do better moving forward? So that's the link that you can actually scan the QR code, and basically, you'll be landed on Fiverr, where you can buy me a coffee and we can spend half an hour together to dive into your campaign. All right. So since we're already at a slide, I'll be looking at it first. And yeah, for those who are like the upcoming questions, I can see already there. So I'll come back to this a little bit. And for now, I'm just gonna, like go through the questions that I have here first. Yeah, guys, please be patient. I like all those questions. Keep them coming. So, okay, now the first question I have is from Relo Hero PH. I suppose you're from Philippines, right? So Relo Hero is asking, can you still help me run ads for your Shopee even if you don't have CPAS? Here in the Philippines, only official stores or mall have CPAS as of now, and you want to take advantage of this, the Burr month. I mean, I'm not sure what is Burr month. I mean, it should be very important months, right? Which is the year-end sale. Or can you still recommend running ads on my own website or on Shopee? I'm asking this since I lost confidence to your own website since you're not making sales lately. Okay, thanks for the question, Relo Hero. Yeah, when it comes to CPAS, different country has different so-called terms and conditions on how you can get CPAS access. For Malaysia, I believe at this point of time, it's relatively easier. And based on what I understand, Thailand is the easiest so far. Philippines seems to be not that easy, and different countries will have different ways. But you have to work your way through to have CPAS access, right? Now, if you don't have CPAS access, can you still run ads? And should you drive to Shopee or website? I mean, this is a very good question, because now this is really based on your so-called the consumer behavior in your country. Like recently, I spoke to a lot of Shopee advertisers because they actually came to my like audit. Yeah, like they bought bought me a coffee and we went through the audit. I realized actually in Malaysia and generally Southeast Asia, including Philippines, I think most people are still more comfortable buying on marketplaces like Shopee and Lazada, simply because first they have been buying from those places and they feel more comfortable. And second thing is because they already have everything stored in the platform itself, as in like they don't need to go through the hassle of registering again, and then they have got coins and all those stuff. It's a lot more likely that they will buy on your marketplaces instead of your website. So at this point of time, like the other day, I just spoke to one of a outdoor, I wouldn't say outdoor fashion brand, one of the very established one that has been around in Malaysia for 30 over years. They say still, even for their brand, after so many years, I would say, a very good percentage or very high percentage of their sales still come from the marketplaces. Very little people will go to their website and buy, is because people still prefer. So for your case, I would say if you want to run ads, you should consider, since you have already tested driving people to your website, you can actually start testing your campaign to drive people to your Shopee store instead. But if you don't have CPAS, you understand definitely you won't be able to do very effective kind of like retargeting. However, if you use our two-step funnel, we still have way to actually capture this audience, even if you don't have CPAS, and we are still able to do very meaningful retargeting to actually remind them and bring them back to your store and make them buy. So you can actually either, if you have not, please consider sign up for my Facebook ads for Shopee store. It's a paid course on my website, and actually walk you through on how to set up the two-step funnel. However, if you want to work with me one-on-one, as in like, because you mentioned you want me to help you, which I don't take management client as of now. I mean, not to say I don't, but I actually very selective on my clients. But I am able to work with you on coaching basis because, in my opinion, helping you is one thing, but teaching you how to do this right is actually something that I wanted to achieve more. So if you want to do that, you can actually go to my website. You can apply for my one-on-one coaching program. Just go under coaching and you'll be able to see some like coaching programs that you can actually enroll. But nonetheless, if you just want to really like quickly dive into your campaign, you can buy me a coffee, scan this QR code, buy me a coffee, so that we can look at your campaign, and I would definitely give you recommendations about what you can do next. Okay, so yeah, I mean, coming up few months is very critical, especially now we are past 10/10. It was not very exciting, but I would say moving forward, 11/11 and 12/12, these 2 months are going to be very important. So you really have to build a very solid strategy to make sure that you like take full advantage of this, the year end sale, the remaining 2 months of the year, to really make the buck out of it, right? So yeah, if you need help and you want to make sure that this time you don't beat around the bush and you want to go to the right strategy and do it right, once and for all, consider doing that with me. Okay, you see, like year end, I'm usually very busy because a lot of clients that will come in at this point of time. So if you want to do this better, actually book your slot quick so that we can actually do this together and make sure that everything is gonna be like in your favor moving forward. All right. So that's the first question from Relo Hero, and the next question is coming from Chris. She commented on my free training. So if you guys want to really look at how do I strategize your Facebook ads campaign for 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, I actually have got some free trainings on my YouTube channel. You guys can actually go over, and it's on my YouTube channel. On the first row, there are a few free trainings, and I suggest you go through them. And one of them is about Shopee campaign, And Chris is saying now online sales, no matter under its own website or marketplace, is going down. You have talked to Korea and Malaysian Shopee sellers, consumer buy lesser. Shopee is charging a minimum ringgit and 90 cents for minimum shipping. Consumer will only buy product they cannot get it off shelf, or it's cheaper on marketplace after adding the shipping fee. I definitely respect your comment, but then again, it depends, because you have to understand now the buying behavior is shifting, and it shifts faster than ever. You see, like there will be a bunch of consumers like me. I am really lazy to actually go to, like to find things now. Not to say like I still go shopping offline, as in like if I places that I know I'm familiar that I can go there and quickly pick up, I'm okay with that. But for things that I'm not familiar with, I would actually use Shopee to do research. And if I like the whole experience, I still buy things online though. Like certain things I do not buy from, like the physical point of sales anymore. So I think I would say your comment actually represents definitely a bunch of people who are like that already, because they still prefer, but there will be a bunch who are not. So I say, because if you ask me based on my experience or my coaching clients' experience or my students' experience, I would say the online sale is still actually there, but it may not be as good as like the pandemic time. Of course, we cannot compare, because that time people can't buy things offline; they have to go everything online. But they said compared to previous, even pre-pandemic, it actually increased. So you can't compare to the pandemic time. You have to compare to pre-pandemic, because now we are going back to normal. So to them, is actually it gets better. But I think what's more important, like the other day I spoke to this, the major fashion brand. I think what they are actually trying to do here is they want to build a, an omni-channel kind of like cross-platform buying experience that, we are able to build a journey that actually guides our audience through because overall we have to look at this as, we shouldn't be measuring the sales on Shopee or website. We should be measuring the overall sales. Are we growing? I think that's something that we have to look into, as in like you have to build a strategy that connects your offline and online together to make sure that, like you're taking care of all consumers coming from all different behaviors, right? So yeah, but thanks for the comment, Chris. That's a very interesting finding, and thanks for sharing with me. Now, the next question I have is actually from Andra. I think he commented on my, my coaching client's testimonial, which is a Marisa from the state. And Andrea is saying, you're coming to me while you're saving money now. You don't need to, my friend. I'm not expensive as in like you imagine it is. I think I'm reasonable. Of course, it's actually worth it, because what we're actually doing here is we are actually helping you to make sure that your advertising dollar actually work for your business. But Andrea, without anything else, right? I mean, we won't be able to actually know what to prepare. But nonetheless, I would suggest that you actually scan this QR code, buy me a coffee. Let's look into your campaign and see what can we do. And then from there, right, I'll be able to draw you a strategy. Then it's up to you whether you want to do it on your own or you want to do it with me. Either way, but trust me, coming to me, buy me a coffee with this, and we spend half an hour, I'm going to give you a strategy that might change your campaign. I promise that. Okay. And then, of course, it's up to you. No obligation, right? You don't need to be like, oh, I got to buy from Jason. No. I mean, we make friends, right? Okay. So, yeah, don't need to wait until you save enough money. I don't know how much you're trying to save anyway, because you don't even know how much I charge. Right? So, yeah, I mean, come over, scan this QR code, and let's chat about this, right? Right. And next question we have is from Alex. Alex is asking, you got your account restricted and cannot get them to review anymore. Can you help me on this? You see, for this kind of situation, remember when it comes to account restriction, there are 3 types of account restriction: personal profile restriction, ad account restriction, actually 4, page restriction, and business manager restriction. And all restrictions has got, whether it's a permanent ban or it's a temporary ban, that you need to go through all this. So first thing first, really, Alex, I do not know the entire situation, and I won't be able to give you advice. To be frank, most of the time, let me be very upfront with this. Most of the time, when you have account issue, it's between you and Facebook. And Facebook will usually give you the steps that you need to do in order to actually get your account back. But if you don't, let's say when they actually disable you and you don't take action timely, usually now they give a 7-day kind of thing, right? If you don't take action, then you will not be having the option to request for review again. That's why we gotta be proactive a little bit, right? When things happen, I would say quick searching around first, or asking around first. Just click into it and look at, is there any ways that they are actually giving you to do, in order to get an account back. Really do it quick. Don't wait. But if you really like everything, you can't review anymore, and you still want to, at least you want to know, like, Jason, what can I do now? As in, like, what's the current situation that you are facing? Whether are you having an ad account ban, personal account ban, page ban, business manager ban? And then I will understand what do you want to achieve next, and I will give you some suggestions about what you can do, some suggestions, right? So if you want to do that, you can actually scan this QR code. Same thing, buy me a coffee, and we can spend half an hour together. We will dive into your situation. I'm going to look at your situation. I'm going to give you recommendations about what you can do next. And, let me put this really upfront. I do not guarantee that I can solve your problem. You see, like the other day, somebody actually commented, as in, like, they sent me a message on my Fiverr account. Obviously, I think he saw some of the videos like this. And he said, can you guarantee to solve my problem? I mean, my friend, I haven't even see your situation yet. As in, like, you haven't even come to me and share your screen. How do I know? Like, to be frank, I have helped so many people, tens of them, not just 100, but tens of them. All right. And to be frank, different people, I would say almost every single case is unique. Yeah, I won't be able to know what's going on until I look at it. So to be frank, buying me a coffee for me to look at it for half an hour, if you don't think this is worth it to solve your problem and you feel like, I don't know whether this money is well spent, I mean, fine, I'm okay. But then again, if you need help, if you really are keen to find solution, because this is very much related to your business, yeah, then come on in. But I do not guarantee that I can solve your problem. But I will give you recommendations based on what I know, based on the cases that I've seen. I mean, less than 100 still, but I've seen a lot. But yeah, I mean, from there, I try to give you some of my suggestions. Okay? All right. Okay, so that's Alex. Thanks for the question. And coming up, we have Ben. So Ben, I think, is having the same issue. So Ben, I think you probably have, you can't get the contact support option, just tutorials and FAQs. You're at a dead end, as the account says. You're always looking out for the, so like, okay, so it was out of random, as we haven't run ads for 6 months. It doesn't matter. Like the other day, I just had an account. I mean, I just tried to reactivate one of my existing ad account. I've not used it for like about 6 months as well. And eventually, you know what? It was actually locked because of inactivity. And I was not able to do that, but I contacted support anyway. And eventually what happened is they reinstated back because it was actually the payment account issue. So yeah, to be frank, if you really like, okay, now back again, that will ask you what are you trying to achieve? Do you want to get that ad account back? I probably you're saying it's just about an ad account. If you want, do you want to get that particular ad account back, or you just want to start running ads? So if you just want to start running ads, I mean, don't bother with this ad account anymore. Just go and get somebody else, start a business manager in a proper way. Go to my YouTube channel. There is a video that I talk about a proper way to do when you have everything disabled. Set up a new business manager in a proper way, using an existing Facebook profile. Go through that and set up an ad account to run ads for this page. Doesn't matter. It doesn't kill, right? Unless you have a very solid reason that I must get this bloody thing back, then of course we try to do that. But if not, there are workarounds. Yeah, like the other day I spoke to someone from the state. Facebook page restricted from advertising. But then again, ad account is okay, business manager is okay. So what we did was we created a new page. We connect to the existing ad account. Voila, everything start running again. So, sometimes people are very kind of like, I don't know, you kind of like trying to dig into something that may not be necessary, right? But all these, like I said, it may not be applicable to your case. So if you need help, right? So same thing, just scan this QR code, buy me a coffee. We can spend half an hour together to look at your situation. I will do my best to give you the best recommendations, but I do not guarantee that I can solve your problem. Okay? So yeah, I do not guarantee. I can't. I'm not Facebook, okay? But I do my best, all right? So yeah, so that's Ben. Thanks for commenting. And the next one is coming from Nokali Tech. So Nokali Tech asks about how can you get back your prepaid fund after your ad account is permanently disabled? The only way to do this is to contact Facebook, raise the ticket that, okay, now I have this amount in my account. Now you go inside and verify and say that, okay, this is it. And this is my bank account. Please give my money back. The only way is to talk to Facebook. There is no other way. All right. So if you can't find a way to talk to Facebook, then I'm sorry. Because if you have a disabled ad account, you won't be able to assign the ad account to someone else like me, and I won't be able to raise the ticket on behalf of you. So it's just you. So I would suggest that you dig deeper and see if there's any way that you can start contacting Facebook. They probably will leave some breadcrumbs to us. I don't know whether you dig deep enough. The only way is to contact Facebook, raise the ticket, and really like get the money from them. There is no one else in the world that can help you do this on behalf of you, because nobody else can access your ad account now because it's already disabled. You can't assign it to anyone. So it's you, right? I'm sorry to say that this is it, but it may not be the dead end. The only thing you need to dig deeper to find is to find a way to talk to them. So yeah, all right. So Nokali Tech, thank you so much for the question. Now let's get into whatever you have got over here. Okay, now back to Elisha. How can you test your second ad copy for T2 because your first ad is already working? Your T2 will take some time to run. All right, Elisha. Why? Because you need to accumulate audience for your T2 to start kicking. So do not do anything until you start running. Give it at least 3 days to 7 days. But if it's not running, if it's not spending, all right, meaning after a while, let's say 3 days, it is still not running, I would suggest you do a few things. First thing first, let's say, for example, one of the thing is you loosen up your retargeting so-called settings. Like, for example, if you're targeting people who watch your video up to 50%, 50, I suggest to reduce to 25%, because that will help you bring more people into your T2 audience. Then you'll be able to run. So that's the first way, like loosen up your retargeting settings. The other option is, if you're only retargeting people who watch your video in the last 3 days, for example, I would suggest another thing. If you're still not running, lengthen the duration to maybe 7 days or even 10 days. Give it more time for this audience to accumulate, because when it comes to retargeting, it takes time because it needs the audience to kickstart. Okay, so give it some time. Don't rush into conclusion, right? So yeah, all right. All the best, Elisha. Just keep monitoring the number. Okay. So Arkin is asking, are not link clicks a problem for Facebook ads? Not link clicks a problem for Facebook ads? I don't understand. Are not link clicks a problem for Facebook ads? Arkin, I need your help to explain or elaborate. Oh, sorry, I missed this. A bot. Okay, I think you're talking about, are bot link clicks a problem for Facebook ads? Well, not that we notice anything very significant. If you ask me, yeah, I mean, some people say that, like you get a lot of bots when you're running ads on certain platforms like Twitter and something like that. But for Facebook, I think it's still fine because especially recently, Facebook constantly work on, like really making sure that their audiences are real. Like now we are actually being forced to submit our ID as an advertiser. And if you have an account that has been inactive for a while, they will disable you and stuff like that. So they are quite stringent in that. But having said that, I don't think they can 100% eliminate bots. But when it comes to advertising, based on our observation, we haven't seen a case with very, very serious problem with bot that actually come to an extent that we need to really like pay attention to it. So far, so good. Okay, Akin, thanks for the question. Now, Elisha has a last question. Do you think Facebook ad is still working? Thank you. Of course, my friend. It is still working. Okay, but I think what I want to highlight here is Facebook still working? It is, but it's no longer as easy as before. For those who run ads, you probably will agree. Like when we first started in 10 years ago, it was so cheap, it was so easy to run ads, then result was like fantastic. But now things change now for a few reasons. First, there are more advertisers now. All right, when there are more advertisers, it pushes the cost to come up because Facebook is like an auction and bid marketplace. When there are more advertisers, the cost is come up because they can only show that many times of ads to every audience every day. So the cost is coming up because of audience. And second thing is the audience behavior is also shifting. You know what? Back then, right? Like if you talk about even 5 years ago, there will be a bunch of people who don't even know what is a Facebook ad. Seriously, they just click everything. They thought that this is what I do, this is what I consume on Facebook. That's why getting result on Facebook is so easy. But now people change because we are very much aware about, okay, now this is an ad. When it's an ad, I'll have a different way of treating it. I probably won't click, I probably won't take action, or I will observe first. So it's actually harder to get action. I'm not saying harder to get result, but you gotta have a strategy. You gotta really like be able to have let's say for example, like our two-step funnel. Tier 1 ad is to get in people in, to hook them in, not to sell yet, but to hook them in to take the certain action. And then after that, we use the retargeting to actually like nurture them and get them to buy. So you need to have a strategy and you can't run ads blindly anymore. I think that's really important. So for those who wants to really like start running ads, I'll suggest that you actually consider looking at my two-step funnel. This is a framework that has been used by thousands of Facebook advertisers from all around the world. But if you need help, if you want me to look at your campaign, just in case, all right, and let's say if you run ads, right, you want me to look at your campaign, I'll suggest that you scan this QR code and buy me a coffee, then we can actually spend half an hour together to look into your campaign. I'll be able to give you recommendations about how to do better. Because to be frank, I seriously actually kind of observed that, I noticed that there are more and more Facebook advertisers are not getting good results nowadays. I think it is probably because you don't have a strong strategy. I think it's about time to build one. But nonetheless, we don't want to dive into like make wrong decision based on that feeling. Let's take a look at the numbers and we make informed decision based on what's working and what's not. All right, scan this QR code and we can spend half an hour together to look at whatever you have over here. All right, we have Samantha here. Good evening. Thanks for joining. And Elisha said, you heard your Facebook page was shut down. My Facebook do have an idea what's happening. Because they're actually cleansing things and not being shut down per se. I think there are a lot of situations where not just a shutdown. Your ad account might be disabled. Your Facebook page might be disabled. Even your profile might be disabled. But do not worry. There are steps. Just whenever things happen, Facebook always give you what to do next. Just follow the steps, and give them whatever they want, and you probably have a very good chance to get everything back. Okay, all right, and yep, you are welcome, Elisha. And yeah, is that all? Just want to make sure that I cover everything, but nice chat, I'm having fun. This is what I do every Sunday night. Actually, I was watering my plants. I almost forgot, but okay, luckily I will make it on time. All right, guys, just in case if you need my help, this is the QR code you scan to buy me a coffee and we can dive into your campaign to look at what's working and what's not so that I can give you recommendations on how to do better. That's one thing. But if you have any issues about Facebook ads or your ad account issues and all that, you need help, scan this QR code as well to buy me coffee as well, and we can look at your situation and, to see what's working or how do we actually navigate your problem for you. All right, cool. All right, like Chiwai say, good session refresher. Wow, okay, now listen while driving, but how can you text while driving? What the hell, man? Focus, okay? Drive, safe, okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I think this is it. So any questions, post them on my YouTube videos. Any of them, just post as a comment. I'll be able to capture them and bring up here to discuss with whatever. And if you need help, then those QR codes are there. You watch the replay, scan those QR code, and do whatever you need to do. And I look forward to work with you. All right, see you next week. Sunday, same time. We're gonna do this together. And with that, good night and have a great week ahead. Bye.